forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos. This block is called Jelly Roll Keyhole. It finishes at 12 inches, and you can use your jelly rolls for this. Your leftover jelly rolls, your full jelly rolls, even your 2.5-inch squares. We'll piece it in 2 halves, and they're both pieced the same. Each one finishes at 6 inches by 12 inches, and you put them together for a 12-inch block. Here is a sample quilt with 5 across and 7 down as usual. Finishes 60 by 84. And I don't have patches here because we're just going to be cutting off of our jelly roll strips, our scraps, or if you need to cut 2.5-inch strips is all you cut. So here are the fabric requirements for the 60 by 84 quilt. For the frames, that's these pieces around the middle part, you need 70 assorted 2.5-inch strips and at least 32 inches in length. So that means you're going to have about 10 inches left from each strip, and you can use them to make these squares if you need to. So from each of these 70 full strips or part strips, we're going to cut 2 at 6.5 inches and 2 at 8.5 inches. Then the squares, we'll need 35 assorted 2.5-inch strips, at least 22 inches in length, or you can use your scraps. I'll show you some scraps I'm going to use. You'll need enough fabric to make 280 squares that are 2.5 inches. So let me show you how we're going to cut them. I have 2 strips here. This is for the frames. I've got them folded as they come off the bolt or in the roll. So the fold is over here, and I have cut off the selvage. So every time we make a cut, we'll be making 2 from each of the fabrics. So the first one is 6.5 inches. And the second one is 8.5 inches. And now this is what you can use for squares if you need them. What you could do is take some other pieces and stitch them together, like strip piece them, press the seams open, and then cut off 2.5-inch segments. So you'll need to have 4 pieced in a row like this, and these go in the centers of the blocks. Okay, so we'll put this to the side. Now let me show you how I got some of my patches or squares here. I like to watch this YouTube channel called Conquering Mount Scrap More with Brenda. And she showed in one of her videos where she had 6-inch by 2-inch pieces, and she sewed them all together and just to a long roll like this. And I decided I would do it in 2.5 inches. So everything I had that was 2.5 inches, I would just sew together. So you see I have some longer and some longer and some that look the same, and so they're all here on this roll. I thought I would just use some. And so what I did was this is just a paper towel roll that's been cut. And what I did was I just counted the first 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I took it apart here. I just tear it and then press those. So now you have your center 4 pieces out of your scraps. And then if you have scraps of just squares, 2 squares together, whatever, put them together and make your sets. You'll need 70 sets of these. You have everything cut, and you're just going to lay these out. Take the large, the 8.5-inch pieces, and we're going to sew them to the sides like this. Sew them to the sides and press the seams open. And I think I'm going to switch these around because I like this better. So sew each one together and press your seams open. And now you take your 6.5-inch pieces and you're going to stitch them at the top and bottom. Stitch them together and press the seams open. And finally, we stitch the 2 together and press the seams open. And here's the block. And then I have another block. When you set these together in your rows, you're going to set, this is a vertical and this is a horizontal. And you just keep doing that all the way down the row. And then the next row will start with the horizontal down here. So now let's look at the blocks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos.